Okay, so now what we're going with for our next appetizer is, and before you say this sounds tired and old, and so 1986.
Wait, were you going to say that our glasses are empty? Is that what's in 1986?
Well,
I think that's what it is.
that too.
Okay. Pass them down, kids. Okay,
Sure.
back to you.
The Baked Brie. It was the heyday for the Baked Brie was in the 80s, I think. Were you born in the 80s? No.
95. I'm serious.
You will never
I'm
get
of legal age. I'm of legal age.
you will
You're gonna
never
get us
get
arrested.
asked back again.
Anyways, back in the day of Ferris Bueller, the Baked Brie was huge. But lots of people put jam and all sorts of like jelly type things in it to make it more of a sweet dish. So basically the Baked Brie was your basic wheel of brie, sliced in half. What you do is you chill it beforehand, obviously. You slice it in half so it looks like a giant Oreo cookie. And then you fill it with whatever kind of gobbledygook you want, frankly. But a lot of people back in the day used to make it a sweet filling for the most part. What we're doing today is a savory filling, which is something a little bit more filling. Pardon the pun.
You meant it. Knock it off.
Oh, I'm a giver. Anyways, but so this is really something that's a little bit more hearty. And since we have such a lovely light cocktail that isn't going to our heads at all, we really need something to bring us down a level, or at least present company included. So what we did is we took the wheel of brie and your basic thing of pastry dough, puff pastry, buy it in the freezer section.
Wait, you're not rolling that out or anything?
No, I'm not rolling it out. Don't bother with it. You take the first half and you place it face up sandwich size. And what?
Another question.
Certainly.
You leave all that rind on, right? You don't take.
Don't take it off. Some people can, but you'll wind up with a really runny brie, frankly.
And nobody likes your runny
No,
brie.
I hate running brie.
If I had a nickel for every time someone chastised me for my runny brie, honestly. So what we did though in this one to make it savory is we did caramelized onions and mushrooms.
Smell amazing.
You can smell it right now,
I
can't
think I
you?
smelled when I walked in.
So how long does that take though? Like an olive
Okay,
oil?
so I didn't do olive oil.
okay,
No, it's okay. I went butter. I know you find it hard to believe. I actually went with butter. Butter is better. So I took regular butter and I
But you
took.
could use olive oil. Maybe no.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's butter.
No. Yeah, it's butter. Regular sliced up mushrooms, put them in the butter. The key to both of these and sliced up onions, literally put them in the pan on high heat with about a tablespoon or two of butter. This is a full onion, and this is a full little package of pre-sliced mushrooms. A tablespoon or two of butter, and walk away. Stir them every now and then, but when you think they're done, they're still not done. These onions were probably on the stove, I'm gonna go with for 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
on high?
On high, and you just keep stirring them. It used to be a ton of onions. The onions were this much, and they caramelized down really low. And at the very last minute, when you see them get this really brown, wonderful earthy smell, sprinkle a little bit of sugar on. I use like about a teaspoon of sugar, and that adds the tiny bit of sweet that you need to cut through the cheese. Absolutely. Take a smell. Take a whiff.
It is good.
Those are the onions.
Say cut through the cheese, right?
Cut the cheese. We've been trying to do it all night, work it in, but whatever. Same with the mushrooms.
Lift off.
Yeah. Mushrooms, I put a tiny bit of thyme on there as well, just for a little bit more of some herbiness with the earthy flavors. Oh my God, I'm so tongue-tied.
Herbiness.
I know. But the mushrooms
Hold on,
also,
new vocabulary.
walk away from the mushrooms too. When you think they're done, they're still not. Mushrooms were probably in the pan for about a half an hour. You really want to get the most that you can out of these. They'll reduce in volume for so much, but the flavor will be so concentrated.
So I just put this on top
now,
of the cheese?
Nick's gonna put the onions on one layer, and then we're gonna add the mushrooms on top. And don't be, shy. Feel free to use them all.
I was
I'm
waiting
not
for you
kidding.
to say the word. I mean.
Well, because it's not going to be a runny brie, so there's.
It's no runny
I hate runny brie. Don't you?
Okay, now Alex, if you could put the mushrooms on top of there.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Nick and his over onioning, I think we actually might run out of room. But how about that?
Well, the
Is
other.
this butter? What is this?
It's not butter. It's funny you
okay.
should ask. Actually, this is just an egg wash, which whenever you're using pastry dough, just take one egg, whisk it together with a little bit of water, and then you've got a nice little wash to make the pastry dough actually brown up. So put the top on. There you go.
Oreo cookie.
Like the Oreo cookie.
Big Mac.
And one last thing, since we've been talking about heat and timing and what have you, with the pastry dough, I've learned this the hard way. People, let it thaw.
Yeah.
Let it thaw for about a good 45 minutes before you decide to use it. And we're literally just wrapping this up like a present. Can you tell? Now what I do is I've got the seam side on the top. Jen, would you hand me that? Yep, the cookie sheet. Yep. We have a preheated oven to 400. We put it on like this with the seam on the bottom. And Jen, if you could just lightly brush that with the egg wash.
Oh,
And
baby.
so how long are you going to cook it?
You put it in the oven for about 30 minutes. Everybody's oven is different. If you want the truth, keep an eye on it. You'll see the pay for. Oh my goodness!
Puff pastry puff.
Thank you.
You got it.
I
It's right here.
haven't even had a full glass of champagne
How
yet.
about
There you
that?
go.
Yeah.
We're going to take it from here. Yes, it will puff up, it'll melt, but we're going to need a little time to cook it, so we'll bring it out at the end of the episode and we'll give you.
That's the magic of television, right?
It is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then we'll show you how wonderful it is when we actually eat it.